Hello, everybody. It's me again. Wow. Um, Sorry that I missed last episode. Life gets busy. Um, I was all over the place last week. I had a bunch of stuff to do. So this episode's gonna be twice as long. I'm gonna try and go for 40 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. From what I've picked up, I've started getting into rhythm around minute 20, which is like when I end these things. So who knows? Um, Shout out the Alpha Male podcast, which just sounds ridiculous to say, but I've been consuming so much of their content the last, I want to say 4 days. It's like exactly what I want to do. So what they do, and literally I'm on my podcast talking about another person's podcast. Um, but essentially what they do is they all hop on a Zoom call and they just like riff bits for 50 minutes. And what they'll do is they'll set up like a different background, they'll still have a theme, and then they are also doing the character of like an Andrew Tate type dude. Uh, they probably want to be like actors, which is awesome. I mean, they all seem to. They're all fairly popular online. Not to diss. That's not what I'm trying to do. But they all have a serious following on social media, like TikTok and stuff. So they're just pulling in that, and then they're doing. It's so funny to me. It's so funny because it's pure irony. The whole thing. Um, it's just like high level satire the entire time. So hopefully, like, if I can get guests on here eventually, that would be ideal. I'm not talking about like in the house with me, but definitely um just somebody to riff with. That would be very funny. I don't know if that will be like on the Zoom or if I'd have. Hey, nice to meet you. Somebody here on the couch. Either way, it would be really fun. Um, But if you guys are interested and you want to be featured on the podcast, shoot me a text because for right now, the only people text like watching the thing are people I'm either related to or friends, or just happen to follow me back on social media. So thank you very much for that. Um, I don't really know what this is gonna be. I know the theme is the brick wall podcast, right? Because I'm like talking to a brick wall, aka my red color phone, and I guess having guests would maybe eliminate that, but I don't I don't know. There's a certain level of authenticity that I should probably acquire first, being comfortable on camera and whatnot. Um, but but like we're gonna see how many times we can say that in this episode. We're gonna probably try to hit a rhythm within the next 10 minutes. That would be great. But if not, ramblings it is. Um, so I've been seeing. I I feel like I felt like a real dumbass recently because um I saw this post that was like, there's okay. Ah! So I saw this post that said, "Why are you dummies pre-ordering digital games like they're gonna run out?" And I felt like the biggest nincompoop of all time because I pre-ordered the new Wolverine game. And I feel like since I've verbalized that to people, that I just keep seeing like the most nitpicky, pathetic hate on the new game. Like people haven't seen a I'm gonna keep sipping slasher type game in a long time. Like somebody compared the new Wolverine game to the old Ben 10 game, which I actually have over there, Fire game back in the day with my brothers. But they were comparing, it's like looks childlike, and that they were comparing the trailer footage of Wolverine chasing a guy with a like red trail, being like, oh, this is such like a hand like hold your hand type video game. And if there's one thing I've picked up from the last couple of Marvel movies, is just you cannot make gamers happy. You cannot make video game slash comic book consumers happy nowadays. And just say that you're not a real fan of the theme or of the genre. It drives me up a mother frickin' wall, man. Like, the red trail is obviously the scent tracking power that Wolverine has, right? It's just visualized for the player of the video game. Or there's the fight scene where the boss fight where you're fighting the Sentinel, and that's where it compared to the Ben 10, because there was the giant, I forget what they're called in Ben 10, but it's this like giant android creature that kind of looks like the speedster. And my name is Ben, so I should inherently, you'd think, know more about Ben 10, but I'm blanking for a second. But is these giant sentinel type creatures in Ben 10, and they have the really long like um alien elongated skull, and it's like and you gotta dodge. This is a game meant for kids, but people are comparing that to it. Think of it like this: it's a very low level Elden Ring game in the boss fight, that type of boss fight, right? In Elden Ring, you have to. Whoa, that game pisses me off so much. But in Elden Ring, you have to time delayed attacks and almost seemingly magically parry enemies, and it's just like there's 500 moves that you have to memorize. But that style of boss fight that's in the Wolverine game is like, okay, you have to memorize 4 or 5 maybe. Like, it's not that big of a discrepancy. Like, it's just the same thing but less steps, if that makes sense. And it's obviously Insomniac knows that kids are going to buy the game. I know that's like gory or whatever, but parents have been allowing their children to buy gory video games since like the 90s, right? Like, if you're a reasonable parent, you're not going to let your kid play God of War, but yeah, that was happening. Or any other type of gory video game like that that's like a slasher. Um, but the new Wolverine game, even though the trailer is like blood and ah! of the villains, but kids are gonna buy the game, and more than likely, kids have already like pre-ordered the game. Like, hey, mom, can you get this Wolverine game? Oh, it's a Wolverine game. Yeah, absolutely. I love those movies with Hugh Jackman. You can play the game all you want. It's the people are gonna be ripped apart and all that type of stuff, but Insomniac has to make it. That's why there's difficulty levels to the game. Oh my god, there's difficulty levels to the game, dude. So obviously they make a boss fight that they're gonna show in a trailer be like, kids like, that seems pretty fun. That seems my speed. A little different from Fortnite, but I'll manage. I don't know. Same thing with Nightcrawler. Uh, Intrinsically, Nightcrawler, I shouldn't say intrinsically, but a defining trait, or just a defining part of his character, for lack of better terms, is that he is a devout Catholic, right? Same thing as Daredevil. And people will complain about, like, why does he have to do the religious stuff? Or, like, he's doing too much. Why does he keep hounding the religious stuff? Or, like, they keep using Bible verses too much in the comics or in the new X-Men TV show. And it's like, flip that on its head, right? You're not going to take Wolverine and be like, oh, well, he slashes too much. Or he relies on his smell too much. I don't know. Like, oh, that doesn't make sense. The guy's miles away. He wouldn't be able to smell him. Are we kidding, dude? As soon as it's about something somebody doesn't agree with, it seems like it's just like this giant hash on him. But it's like, it's the duality of the character in that he is so devoutly religious but looks like the devil. That is what makes the character interesting, but B, relatable to multiple people, right? I mean, Captain America, let's just be nitpicky for a second. Captain America, he's going to be relatable to like, fuck yeah, I love America, blah, blah, like patriotism, or really any female character is designed or made to try and draw females into the world, right? Um, that's why I hate when they make a female character in any media just an ass. Make the character cool. Make the character make good decisions. Make the character do awesome stuff. That is how you write a good female character. Don't pull Legend of Korra where it's like she can't make a single good decision and her whole reason for being a character is that she's the opposite of what everyone loved, which was Aang and the gang, dude. Come on. Same thing they did with Captain Marvel. It's like these male comic book writer incel dudes they refuse absolutely refuse to write a good female character, bro. And good is subjective. I don't care, but like there is a reason all of these female driven movies are flopping. It's because incels aren't going to go watch the movie because it's a female anyway, but that can be overcome by you put up a really cool, good story of these female characters. These are the women haters. They drive me up a wall to begin with, but you can't compound the issue by not making it good. You have to make it good to get a start, dude. Black Widow flopped. Supergirl flopped. Captain Marvel flopped. Why? Because they can't write a good female character to save their lives, dude. All you have to make them do is be badass, dude. Everybody loved Black Widow in the Iron Man movie. She was doing awesome stuff. But then you make it about all this other crap, and it's just like, oh my god, dude. The way they tap into like the issues now in comic books, it's like, what are you more interested in, right? What are you more interested in? As this is a objective thought that if you are a billionaire company, if you are having an influx of billions and billions and billions of dollars into your movie um, company, like Disney, for example, they are not interested at all about the problems we have going on, for example. What they care about is revenue, right? What brings the most amount of money in? That's why I feel so bad, because they know the algorithm of what makes a movie successful, and they'll do that, but they're not doing it for the female characters, right? They're not doing it for the lower groups or less known about characters. What they're doing is they're picking a thing that already has made them a bunch of money, and they're going, let's make the people that don't really consume our product happy by making a crappy movie. Right? They're treating it like almost like a checklist of like, yep, we made these people happy. Yep, we made these people happy. All right, now that we made those people happy, now we can really focus on the moneymaker. which Avengers Doomsday. It's like no, 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 no. True empowerment of a group is making the thing good, putting actual passion into your movie or show or media in general. Make it good. Make that group look great. Not the checkbox stuff. Stop doing that, dude. Stop doing that. It pisses everybody off. It makes no one look good except for the people that don't even watch or consume the media at all. They just see the title, the news article, and they're like, "Oh, nice, they did that. That makes me happy. I'm not gonna go." Like they're not going and buying a ticket. They're just making sure that it's happening, and that is what is intrinsically wrong in my mind. It's just like, what do we actually care about? Do we care about giving power to these groups, or do we care about making money? I think there's a gray area to that. You can do both. They've done it before. It's just, oh, gosh. Why do we have to write? Okay, this is a crazy example, and it's just because it's the first one that popped into my mind, but like Django. Django does it. Take an oppressed group, make them freaking awesome. Everybody loves it. There's a little bit of the white savior thing in it, which is Christopher Waltz, in that he's like, I guess I'm the good white guy. So I'm doing cool stuff. I'll help you out, get on your feet a little bit. But honestly, like that character doesn't even need to really be there. Like they could have made it to where it's a full 180. Like Jamie Foxx just does his thing, and everybody still would have loved it. And I get that in like history, obviously there are people that were like that. But like one of the clips that pops into my head is like the Jackie Robinson movie of like, I can't remember the actor's name. I think he's the guy that plays Red Skull, maybe. But he like Jackie's at the I think at second base, and he puts his arm around him. He's like, "I got some cousins from Louisville up there. I want them to know who I really am." It's like cool, but this is the Jackie Robinson movie. Why do we need to? It's like the directors or writers of these programs are almost are like patting themselves on the back, being like, you know what, we're gonna shine light to this press group, but let's make sure that we're seen still, okay? I don't know. And I shouldn't really be talking about things I don't really know about, but here we are. Sip my Pepsi Zero in peace, bro. Um, that is whatever, dude. Yeah, the Marvel stuff and like Brand New Day, great. That was phenomenal, dude. Guess why it worked? Because they kept it comic book accurate. In my opinion, there is an argument to be made that Brand New Day Spider-Man is the most Spider-Man media produced yet. Yet, dude. He covers all the bases. He covers all the bases. He's a phenomenal Spider-Man in that movie. He's a phenomenal Peter Parker in that movie. From Tom Holland, all we've seen is happy-go-lucky. I'm Peter, and I get the cool Iron Man stuff, and that was great. Don't get me wrong, but now it's like we finally get to see the other side of Peter Parker, the poverty. Well, you could argue that Tom Holland's in poverty. He's just a genius that knows how to put, like how Tony was able to build Mark One in a cave. Tom Holland's just as smart, where he could build some computers and monitors, uh, in a attic. It's probably gives him a lot more resources, but we get to see like at the basic level a sad Peter Parker. Brother, that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for Sad Peter. He is a. That's why he's the most beloved character, dude. That's why he is the GOAT. Him and Superman are my two favorites because they are the physical embodiment of a hope and the indomitable human spirit, right? Superman is not as relatable, right? He's an alien, uh, but there's like that's makes him more human because he still experiences all the same emotions but chooses to do the good thing. That's like the whole battle between him and Lex is like no, like it's a battle of titles essentially where Lex Luthor is I'm a human, I know what's best for the human race. No aliens. I don't care. What like blah blah blah. I should be getting the spotlight. And Superman's the opposite side of greed and all these things, where he is just intrinsically good. That is the character. Intrinsically good, trying to do the right thing. If he gets in a fight, it doesn't always come to fisticuffs because he knows that he's the superior or whatever, and he's doing that in not a I look down onto you way, but like let's figure this out because really we know what the outcome is. But Spider-Man, dude, Spider-Man. There's a reason he is the most relatable character in all of media, even though he has freaking spider powers, right? Kid, right? Was a nerd. He was bullied when he was young. A lot of people relate to that, obviously, right? Without being said, he happens to get some powers, right? He has no Riz, no game, he has no motion. Gets some powers. Now he has a little bit of motion. Starts battling. And forgot to even mention one of the most important character arcs, parts of his arc, is that his uncle dies. He has a parental figure that passes away. He has no motion. He gets some powers. He starts to get a little bit of motion. In the comics, he gets with Kitty Pryde. He gets with MJ. He gets with Gwen. He gets with these in Battle World. He gets with his giant alien lady. Like he has motion, bro. He gets Riz, and he gets some powers. Then he starts fighting some people, and he dies so many times. Not in the same storyline, but in the multiverse, there's a plethora of ways how he dies, right? But it's always every time he's died, from what I can recollect, is that he dies as a martyr. He dies for the good of humans or the good in whatever reasoning, whatever his positive outcome that he thinks he does it for the right reason every time. Some storylines Aunt May dies. Some storylines all of his close family friends die. I mean, the Kingpin storyline where he murders Aunt May and he walks Kingpin down in jail in prison and takes off his suit and mollywops Kingpin and then puts the web shooter in front of he goes he puts the web shooter down like up into Kingpin's mouth and goes, one more word, I'm gonna fill up your lungs with web fluid if I ever see you again. The duality of man, the hope, the wrath, the sadness. What else is there more to say? Spider-Man arguably faces the most adversity of any character in Marvel. There's some storylines where he becomes like you could take Spider-Man so many different ways where he becomes like an Oscorp guy. He starts his own tech company. Um, he continues just be a poor New Yorker. He just does his thing and is Spider-Man. The wrestling of Peter Parker and the persona of Peter Parker and Spider-Man in Brand New Day, that was excellent to see. They've done it before, obviously, but not like this. And like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man had that, right? He had the web block and all that stuff. But this new movie just felt different, and it could just simply be recency bias. Where the last time I consumed a Tobey Maguire movie was probably about 5 years ago, and I just saw the Spider-Man movie. That could have something to do with it, but and also that I'm a grown man now, looking through the lens of a 24-year-old instead of like a 18-year-old. That could also have something to do with it as well. As literally my frontal lobe has allowed me to view life from a wider lens. But I don't know. I guess that's enough Marvel talk for now. If there's one thing about me, it's that I am a giant nerd, something I talked about in the first episode, where maybe since I'm a bit of a chud now, you may suspect that, but about 4 years ago, taking me at face value, you would never guess that of me. And maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. If you are of like infrared look on the human nature, maybe you'd pick that up on me. If you're a true empath, after all. But I don't know. Um, and we're gonna do some more Marvel talk here in about 2 weeks. I plan on having a friend on, and we're gonna rank Marvel characters. I don't know how many we're gonna do, but we will be doing that, and we will have a blast. We'll probably get a little raunchy, but we'll see from there. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's something about the human nature that deeply, deeply, deeply grabs at me, and it's something I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe that comes with age. I don't know, but still trying to figure it all out. You know, um, I've been doing a lot of introspection lately on like what are things I truly like want and or need, and what do I value. And I've been doing a lot of crying on Instagram recently. My Instagram feed has been feeding me a lot of like sad videos of like, or I guess like hopeful videos, like hopecore, in that it's like dads coming home from the military and surprising their kids at elementary school, or like brothers, brothers. Even though not directly related, anybody could be your brother. I'm sending it straight to my brothers. I'm on my lunch break watching guys save dogs from crocodiles and so. Oh my god, pathetic, dude, pathetic. Spending my lunch break crying in a parking lot, thinking about whether I should get McDonald's or not. Just where I'm at, you know. And I'm proud. This gingerbread is looking at me crazy. So, how are we feeling about? Comment below. Are we excited for the Burr months, dude? My wife is quite excited. She's at a Burr party right now with her family, and we got September, October, November, December. The Burrs, bro. Personally, I'm tired of the heat, dude. I'm excited, very, very desperately excited to put on my father's hand-me-down sweaters. That's just what I'm on. I'm tired of the heat, bro. If I could live in Maine, I would. Send me to Toronto. I'd much rather have a harsh winter over this, dude. Sweating absolute bullet ants. Whoo! Is what it is, though. Makes it really hard for tattoos to heal. So I've been putting that off. I still have my back to finish. Um, if you guys want to see a tattoo tour, let me know. I'm not fully covered yet, but it's coming, baby. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I want to talk more about the Alpha podcast guys. Um, those guys, it's essentially just 50 minutes of improv every time, which I would love to get into. That sounds like so much fun. Just dive into a character, sit in it, say the most crazy stuff ever, and just be like, nice, we did it. um, yeah, that sounds really fun. And I also would like to start posting on social media more, because it seems like now there is like this funnel that you have to do of You have to get big on some type of short form content creating, and then you jump over to the long form like this. Remember, if there's a if you're pointing, there's three fingers pointing back, right? So I don't know. It's just that's why I put it on the clips, right? But like, how else do I get famous? Famous is not the right word. I do not want to be famous. How do you get viewership on short form media apps without being intrinsically attractive? Or I keep saying intrinsically. Jesus. Without being objectively attractive, like pretty privileged a little bit. Like obviously, people just make careers on how they look, right? But I feel like I have something to give, and I want to try it out. I'm a pretty I feel like I'm a pretty creative guy, and I can be funny for sure. But putting that out there, I really struggle with. I really struggle with streamlining my life, making like a workflow for the day, or like if I don't have structure, I definitely struggle a lot throughout the day. That's why having like a 9 to 5 right now is really It's really helpful. I find myself losing myself if I don't have some sort of structure, mainly because I've been given that my entire life, right? Doing organized sports has really helped out with that. And since I've kind of done that my entire life, now that I'm not, it feels like this weird road that I have to maneuver through that has these exits and on ramps and weird turns and U-turns and okay, stop up there, but make sure you get in the shoulder for a second. And that's been really hard to figure out. But I'm getting through that, and you can too. Um, but in terms of posting on short term or short form media outlets, I just don't really know what to put out there, and I kind of have um, I kind of have a bit of a not a safety, but I have some things I'll say that are holding me back right now. In that I gotta be careful with what I post online because I can be fired from jobs that I have, and that's like a governor is what I'm thinking of. I have a bit of a governor on my creative output right now, and I'm not saying like I have to be so vulgar or whatever, but I definitely can't, and I don't really like limits to the stuff. Obviously, there are like social contract limits and um, things I can't put out there, right? Uh, a lot of people can't put a lot of stuff out there, but I'm not trying to do anything crazy. I just would like to unfilter my brain a little bit, and I think that would be the avenue to go down. Because people love authenticity, like we talked about last episode, where the one thing AI can't take is your persona. So why would I not put that out there? And I feel like my persona definitely isn't going to be liked by everybody, but it may be liked by some. And if I can help a couple people out or make a couple people laugh, like, what else would I want in life, you know? And if I can just make somebody smile, like, my most, my favorite thing to do is make people laugh. And it's not even close. It is not even close. Whether that's at work, whether that's when I'm coaching and the kids are having a blast and working hard and they get to break up that seriousness, excuse me, with some jokes here and there. But like, if I can make you laugh, sign off for the day, dude. I did it. And that's been an itch that I've had for quite some time now. And I really want to scratch the itch really bad. And I feel like I have, like, don't get me wrong, day by day, when I have those small interactions, like, yeah. And that could just also be ego, where I feel like, oh, yeah, it's me. And dude, I'm 24. I kind of can pick up on that, where it's like people my age typically think they're invincible, or like, yeah, I'm the shit. Yeah, I can do anything. Yeah, I'm like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I just am having this ginormous difficulty of, I don't know where life or God wants, what direction I should be going to, or even being pushed in. Decision making is super hard, especially on life choices. But creatively, I think the hardest part is starting. And then the second hardest thing is to be consistent. That's with any that's with tattooing, that's with video creation, that's with painting, that's with making music, that's with, it's like the first year. Give yourself a year, dude. You're gonna be crap. You're gonna be crap. But give yourself a year, because if you can get an inch better every day, this is something I tell the kids. If you can get an inch better every day, you're going to be miles and miles and miles ahead of where you started if you just give yourself a year. Give yourself a year. Give yourself to whatever the venture is. Give yourself to it. Surrender yourself to it. And look where you'll be. And if I can do that with all the things that I want to do, yeah, I feel like maybe there's some success out there for me. And there's success for everybody out there. LeBron James wasn't born good at basketball. 20 years down the line, look where he's at. He's in Philly. He's doing it when he's 40. LeBron's been doing it as long as I've been alive, pretty much. That's nuts. Every expert was a beginner at one point. And you just have to be okay with sucking. You have to be okay with sucking, dude. If you want a lifestyle, if you want an end, or you want to be a certain kind of person, you have to want the lifestyle, or at least be okay with living the lifestyle while you go through it to get to your goal, right? What are your dreams? What are your values? What do you want to do in this world? Life is such a beautiful thing, and people say it's short, but it's really not. Maybe in the span of the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's long. Okay, whatever, dude. But are we really comparing ourselves to the dinosaurs here? Or are we going to compare it to, what are you doing? What have your parents done? What have your grandparents done? And how can you live up to the expectation of yourself and the people around you? But yourself has to come first. It has to. If you're okay with doing a dead end job and getting the paycheck and blowing it on Yeezy slides, you do you, brother. I got no problem, because that's what you want to do. At least you got it figured out. I don't. What I think I want to do is make people laugh. What I think I want to do is help people understand themselves and maybe the people around them a little bit. I think that is what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to help shape people, help shape their minds, their outlook on the world, society, right? How can you be a helping hand in the people around you? How can you directly impact the people around you? How can you directly be a positive influence on the people around you? And I'm not talking about every day. You don't have to hit just like straight home runs all the time. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being an inch better every day. That's what I'm talking about. And if you could just do that, you could do that with anything, dude. You could do that. And I like to paint, so I'm the painting guy. If you just paint every day, if you just draw something every day, dude, in about 10 years, you're going to be painting the most beautiful, eye catching, important artwork. Even as objective as a diet. Okay, get a little better. 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 Okay, now I'm going weeks. Okay, now all right, I got a couple days down on my calorie deficit. Good, 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 good. Okay, I had a slip up. Consistency matters over day by day. Or consistency matters more than one screw up. Okay? Bounce back. Bounce back. Get up. Get up. Wait a way. Get up. Get up. Get up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. If you could just keep going, you're good. Your success isn't measured by how many times you fail. It's measured by how many times you get back up. And if you keep failing, at least just learn one thing from it, right? If just learn one thing. And it's not always as objective as like a sport, right? Where I swam for a long time, right? Long time. And I would lose. Or I wouldn't beat my personal best. And I go, you got the video of that? Let me see that. That's what it is. I took an extra breath. Right? That is an objective measurement of through study and trial and error and professionals. That is a tried and true way to get faster in the 50 freestyle. Don't breathe a lot. Okay. But the other side of that coin is not every time you can sit there and record yourself and then get a playback, right? Sometimes you have to just learn from immediate results. I go to the bar. I try and talk to a girl. Hey, how are you doing? Can I get your number? You're so beautiful. I saw you from across the bar, and you have really beautiful eyes. And oh my god, ew. Then you go. Next time you're like, okay, what happened? Why did they do that? And sometimes, if you're lucky, you have a friend that goes, "Yikes, dude, that was rough." So maybe a friend gives you a little advice, but probably should come from you, where you're like, "Ooh, I kind of stuttered a lot. I wasn't very confident. Maybe I should just try and speak a little bit more from the heart, or just try to be." And I hate being nonchalant. God, I hate being nonchalant, as I am one of the most chalant guys maybe ever. Humble too. Next time you go, okay, I'm gonna be a little bit more confident, a little bit more nonchalant. That's what the girls like, right? So, hey, I saw you from over there. You were just the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen in my life. Can I please get your number? I just would love to talk to you some more, and let me get you a drink. 5 minutes later. I mean, that is like the funnier example I could think of, but like, yeah, like typically in those situations, if you're just trying to be confident and speak from the heart, like it's gonna work out for you. Um, it's, um, yeah. So what else can you do? What can you do, you know? Um, yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been episode 3 of Ben's Brick Wall podcast. If you guys want to hook me up and try and get me on that Alpha Male podcast, that would be awesome. I would love to riff with the boys. One content creator to another, and I hate that term. Oh, I'm actually. Hey, what's up? Oh, what I do for work? I'm a graphic designer, but I'm a influencer. Ow! What do you do that for? It's because I said I'm an influencer. Oh, right, that's the most broad term of all time. Okay, got you. Next time I'll say I do a podcast or something. I don't know. I just talk to my phone. Yeah, that works. Okay, respect. Appreciate you, boss. See you later. Okay. Well, again, this has been episode 3. Thank you all very much. Love ya. Bye.